SQL PASS. This is Data Sessions Episode 8. I would just like to make a quick introduction of our speaker since I think with all the excitement last night, we weren't able to introduce him properly. So that's why I want to do this right now. So our second session is Handle Data with Care, to be delivered by Jasmin Azemovic. He's been an MVP for data platform since 2009. He's a Chief Information Security Officer and a university professor. He's a very active speaker on regional IT conferences and event panels. He's also an author of a number of books, like the Writing T-SQL for beginners using Microsoft SQL Server 2012, Securing SQL Server 2012, and SQL Server on Linux. So tonight our session will be about data privacy and data security. Handle data with care. I hope you enjoy this session.
Okay, thank you. I'll just start sharing my screen. Okay, do you see the screen?
Yes, we can. Thank you.
Okay, I'll start my presentation. Okay, we'll wait for 50 minutes, but it's not a big deal. I believe we can finish with no time, and I hope this session will be interesting for you guys and all other personnel who came here for today to hear something, I hope, interesting and new. Okay. Data breaches and preventions. So sorry, something is happening at my screen. Okay, this session is how to handle data with care. What it means? It means how we can try to find the best practices, best strategies, best way to prevent data breaches and mitigate all the steps that they can help us to actually handle our data with care. So in the next 45 minutes, I will start with some soft intro to actually explain why we are speaking about this topic, and in other 2/3 of the presentation, I will try to be more precise and more practical part to actually show you in practical example how you can do that in SQL Server as a database engine. Okay, in the introduction part, first I will start with top 10+1, and I will explain you what it means. Then we will try to explain how data breach actually occurred. So what are the requirements to create the poison environment to actually make your data publicly or some semi-publicly available to the worldwide. And then to the end of this part, we will try to explain different way of scenarios how your data actually can be stored from different angles of the SQL engine. Okay, 10+1. This is a general picture of security from DevSecOps perspective. So development, security, and production. What it means? It means that if you only look from the DevOps angle, you always missing this sec part. Why? Because the programmers and operation part, they always try to push releases faster, make the demo faster. This part of the code need to be done yesterday, and so on. In all this messy story, security is totally way beyond. Actually, if you look at Agile documentation, you will see that security is a non-functional requirement. It means you can use it or not. It's up to you to choose. Now, from this angle, especially from this COVID-19 pandemic story, where we are all at home and try to do our job best and try to adapt in this situation, security is become imperative. So from the perspective of a programmer and the guys and girls who actually create the code, this is some kind of picture that you should pay attention. I will just briefly get the point on the important parts. So the first one, you need to write secure code. You can't write secure code if you don't have enough experience, or if you don't have experience, you have some requirements that before that actually will guide you to create more secure code. Then secure APIs. Be careful with third-party library. Try to implement audit login to actually spot and prevent tampering and accessing to your data to the different part of application. So basically, I believe each one of you who actually is now on this session can actually recognize his or her role. Where is your part in security? We will now try to see this story from handle data with care angle and see how data engine can actually help you. Okay, how data breach occur? This is one of the scenarios, so there's many of them, but okay. Watch this. There's a bad guy or girl on the left part of the slide, on the number 1, where he or she tried to research to find the web pages, API endpoints, where actually the user can access the data. Now, on the second stage, if there is no direct access, I will just pull my brake now, and I will just try to go a couple of days before. I believe many of you have noticed before a couple of days there is a one wave of messages that actually came on the Google Hangout and Teams. And that messages actually came because zero-day exploit in Firebase engine, and that exploit has give you opportunity to the bad guys or girls to send you a bunch of messages, billions of them, on different kinds of addresses without any kind of authorization. And that's actually how data breach can occur. In that message, in this scenario, it was harmless. It was no malicious. It just show us what can really happen in that part. But if that message was malicious, then I believe today we will speak about some different topic like this. Okay, now in stage 2, attacker tried to find another vector to actually attack you, to the email, phone calls, messages, to actually scan the open ports of your applications, web pages, APIs. So actually try to see, is there any weak spot that will show him or show her way to actually penetrate your perimeter. Then when they came inside, it's simple in a matter of time in which point they will try to find a way to your database, to your backup files, data files, forgotten files, passwords, etc. Somewhere on the hard drives. Then they will put that files on the location from where they can be easily pulled out. They will create a FTP server, they will open port, they will open SSL tunnel, and actually just pull out that data. And actually, this is a school book scenario how data breach can occur. And it actually, I will try to give you hints. If data breach occur, how your data can stay safe. Okay, the damage is done. Now you will need to find the way how to handle that scenario, mitigate, lesson learned, and so on. But how your data can be useless to the attacker even if they go down. So another possible scenarios of data stealing, I believe. All of you are here dealing with data in some kind of scenario, and I believe each one of you can recognize that each of these items in this slide can be used to actually pull data, steal data from your native environment. Even we are speaking about cloud, we are speaking about hybrid solution, or we are speaking about on-prem solution. So just five one of them. It's impressive. It's impressive in the quotes in how many cases that the backup files are leave behind. How many times the DBAs or someone else gives inside the team oversized permission, SA, security, admin, and so on, and that permission is stay behind. It becomes forgotten, and that person simply can do anything in any case. And the most important part, social engineering and phishing and backdoor are becoming each day more dangerous, and we need to pay attention on this part especially, and try to educate ourselves and our employees and our teams in this part, because attackers in this area are becoming really good. And you see this small pie chart, some analysis based on information that I find online, official information. 90% of data stealing is actually hacking, and 10% is stealing. In many cases, these 10% are inside job, and I'll try to explain more in detail later. So black statistics, what's it all about? Again, this information can be found on the web page privacyrights.org. Just pulled out CSV Excel sheet and try to do some Excel magic and try to create your own diagram. And this one actually explains that in all number of reported data breach situation, almost half of them is on the database. And you will see that this risk part, you see there's many attempts, but none of them are successful. So many of them are failed. They false positive. Technology become more powerful. You see the laptops. There's many attempts on laptops, but only 1/4 of them are actually succeed. Other part are simply there is no penetration in that part. So you see that the risk is going down. But if you pay attention and you're focused on the database, this red part, you will see that number of attempts is almost the same, but more than 50% of them are successful. It means that we are speaking about encryption, databases, sizes, DevSecOps, and so on. But each day, more and more data are becoming available on the deep web, dark web, and so on. So something is really not wrong in this part, and we will see what it is. And to conclude this part, you see this information can be found on the web page. Informations are beautiful. It's fine, and still the name, and you can find in data breach part by years in these fancy bubbles. You will see how many companies, big companies, actually lost, and they are losing data each day. You see Facebook, Indian Citizen, Microsoft, Oxidata, Marriott Hotels, Ashley Madison is the download. Yahoo is not visible here. Actually, Yahoo is the winner. Yahoo is actually 2016 or 15, I forget them. You can find on your own. Two big bubbles actually belong to Yahoo, and each time by billion. So 2 times billion of different kind of records actually goes out. And see, if you're running some small business, if you're running some medium-sized enterprise business, on this slide you can see that nobody is safe. So Facebook, I believe, has millions of US$ actually budget for their security, but they are failing, and Microsoft also. So it's not about the money. Yes, the money, we need the money. We need to pay people. We need to pay knowledge, know-how, but it's not all about the money. It's about awareness, and it's about discipline, and it's about how to implement security from early phases, not just only on the complete. So you actually create a web page, and on the final stage you are done with security. No, it's too late for now. It's too late now. You need to deal with security from intake phases, use cases, modeling, database layer, and all classes, methods, and so on, to actually until the GUI and implement validation part in GUI layer. So it's a process. So it's a process that you need to pay attention. Okay, what is missing? So why this is happening every day, and it's literally every day. We are missing two important parts in this case. So the first one is threat modeling. Threat modeling is almost forgotten part in software analysis and software creation, software engineering section. What it means? It means that we need to inject somewhere in analysis, between analysis phase and code creation phase, you need to inject the threat modeling phase, and it means that we'll analyze each use case scenario, each business case, and say these are the potential threats. These are potential weak exploits. For example, login form, SQL injection, cross-site scripting, DDoS attack. You need to pay attention on backup files. You need to encrypt the credit card number inside your database. So you need someone to do that for your team. Maybe someone is from your team, doesn't matter, but you need to pay attention to threat modeling, and it's a basically formalized process that you can do it without any big knowledge. It's just a matter of goodwill, time, and how much you need to invest of your research to actually create good threat model. Based on threat model goes everything else beyond later in other phases of creating a software. And here's a one simple example: SQL injection. So the threat modeler is recognized that somewhere in your environment there is a potential SQL injection section. So there's a threat target, mitigation strategy, and techniques. And when the implementer see this table, it's clear. It's clear as a day now in most time. Just use it. Don't write ad hoc SQL code inside C#, Java, Python, or whatever. Use procedures, use parameters, and try to avoid SQL injection. How much is it possible from your perspective? We will never create secure code 100%. But we are achieving. We are trying to be more close to that number. So that's one part is missing, and I believe if you are coming from different case of businesses, I believe that each of you can analyze now in 1 minute does your organization whatsoever actually implement threat modeling as a one of the key phases in software development process. So other part that is missing is that missing as a formal part. There is many cybersecurity departments inside the company, but always security is looked as expensive, as a cost, not an investment, and that will be changed very soon in this post-pandemic world, because we are all online. Everything is online. Schools, universities, jobs, security, voting, e-health, everything is online. So security become imperative. If it's not, then I'm afraid what kind of world will be in 2 or 3 years without in weak security scenario. So you need SISO. You need the person or persons who will create strategy for your security. Then implement to the department, security specialist in app security, network security, ethical hacker, red team, blue team. To be honest with you, if you achieve to create red and blue team inside your security department, you have chance to win this war, because red team are the bad guys inside your company, and blue team are the good guys. So actually, the red team try to penetrate your application, your security, everything. And blue team is trying to defend it. So it's better that your red team find a zero-day exploit inside your application than some non-ethical person outside in wild web. And finally, you need to have incident response team, the team that actually jumps in when something happens. And something will happen in some scenario, in some ratio. Maybe it's small, or it will be, God forbid, big. But you need to have team ready with steps A, B, C, D, F, G, D to actually know what they need to do to stop incident, mitigate, and create report with lesson learned. Okay, so now after this introduction part, let's try to jump in more concrete world, and actually to database world, and to handle data with care. Yes, and and to see how SQL Server, this is a SQL Server chapter, try to see how SQL Server can help you. And believe me, SQL Server is not that because I use SQL Server. I believe here all love SQL Server, but SQL Server is now in this moment most secure database in the world, and period. On-prem, hybrid, or in cloud variant. Okay, database server security model. So it's very granular. What it means? It means that you can start security from login. So from Jasmin user, Jasmin will be out try to log himself on SQL Server, and based on that authentication, I will be authorized to go on the server side, to database side, or mixed side permissions. So I can do different ways or scenarios. What is the problem here? The problem here is if you give this server side permission, that person or team have really huge rights: backup files, configuration, server side. That person can, for example, stop audit logging, do some dirty stuff, extra data, and start audit logging again. Can access to backup files from tapes, from DVDs, from CDs, from USB, from network shares, whatsoever, and copy it on a different location. So you need to be very careful in this part. On the data part, database side, each user with permission to select data, to read data, to delete data is a potential threat, even inside the application part or outside of that perimeter. But there's also one thing in most cases administrators in cloud or on-prem forgot or does not pay a good enough attention in security after and during installation. What it means? Here's an example. This is a part. These are the pictures during installation phase, and I believe many of us will in this part will not pay good enough attention. If you enter mixed mode, maybe you will not create strong enough SA account password. So in the case when someone steals the hashes from master database, weak password can be easily broken. And don't be fooled with the story 8 characters, 12 characters, 16, 32. Yes, but if these are the words from dictionaries or mixed words, it can be easily broken. Even if you create some really strong password, for example 16 characters, in this new unsecure world, hackers or state-sponsored crimes, this is a whole different level of security and unsecurity. They can create the cluster of the very strong graphic cards, NVIDIA GPU with hundreds of GPU cores and thousands of GPU cards on the price scale it's really cheap. It's really cheap in cooperation with some supercomputer, with some Cray and so on. But these cards are really they are killers. They are killers from the hashes, and they can easily broke even the strong passwords. So just need to pay attention to that. Also, you need to be very careful on the network libraries. In different version of SQL Server, standard version, enterprise, developer version, web version, different set of services and ports are open or enabled by default. So be careful. If you use only TCP/IP, there is no need for shared memory or name pipes. Why? It's just two endpoints in your security that you need to pay attention, and you will forget on them. Believe me. And also try to enforce password policy. Yes, it's boring. The user will complain, but who cares? You are responsible for security. you need to pay attention to that, because you will be responsible and accountable on that part. Also, threats from unauthorized users. So inner threats inside your organization. This 10% from pie chart before 10 minutes ago, if you remember, this inner threats is more dangerous than outside threats, because you will invest the money, education to defend your company on the network level, firewall, threat detection systems, hackers outside, inside. You will just put all your military strength to actually pay attention on outside of your castle. But inside the castle, there's a potential threats in security, because this person have the authorization. They can do anything they want inside your authorization package. That can be read, write, delete, and so on. And that will give you false sense of security. So simple user role is not enough to ensure security. There's a new wave of security that is coming in this brave new security after COVID, and it's called zero trust model. Zero trust model will give you decent level of security, because it will look to your employee on the same level as a user outside of your organization. So it will be really rigorous authentication, and all checking inside your company on each action. Because simple, look now, your company is this how to say, distributed all over the world, all the Bosnia, India, China, America, Russia, Middle East, and so on. You have employees on all 5 continents. It's a problem. Do you use VPN? How they can access your data? How they can access your databases? How they will do their daily job if you give them all rights? So it's a really minefield, and you will believe me, you'll be hearing a lot more in coming days on zero trust model. And here's an example of simple read. I believe all of you will know that. If you give read permission, that user will have access to all the data, last name, first name, credit card, password, and so on and so on. So you will need to give them explicitly denied on the tables where that user will not have access. And even if there's a need, you will need to go to on column level and forbid that access. It will be ideal to create views and just give the right to views or procedures to actually, if you want more faster way. And believe me, you need to use encryption all over the way to defend your sensitive data inside your DB, and I will show you practically later in this session. How physical data can be stolen? You see, data files, backup files. In my practice, as a consulting, as a last 20 years in data security area, in many scenarios, employee intentionally or not, for example, bring the USB drive with backup of the database outside job and bring the home to continue to work, to steal, to sell. Simply forgot. That is the problem. You forgot that USB drive in coffee shop. You lose him on the street. Someone will find it, and someone will actually know how to deal. And that is I don't know, backup of your 20 years of data, your customers, and simply goes out. Part two of data stealing is when someone who is not inside DB role can access your data. Simple. If you have the administrators or DevOps people with strong enough permission on file system, OS, or network, can hook and try to steal data. So if someone, for example, steal the password or hack the password or guess the password of your personnel, So it's not always in a threat. So I can steal your password and I becoming in a threat remotely, but in a threat. So you need to increase security in authentication part. So 2FA is ideal. So in each open session to the system and out of the system, user should be ask for extra factor of security just to be sure that you're not relying your security only on passwords. Okay, so mitigation on all these steps, on all these scenarios is very simple. So the first, you need to be aware. Your team need to be aware that security, cybersecurity is not a fairy tale, is not non-functional requirement. It's a reality. It's here. It will be stay here, and it will become a more increasing and demanding skill in following years. So, for example, table and or column encryption. So SQL Server are giving you a really huge, wide spectrum of security, symmetric, asymmetric, certificate, TD, always on. Believe me, on-prem, on cloud. I will show you how to actually you can encrypt data on the column level, and how that scenario is applicable on-prem, on hybrid, or on cloud solution. TD will defend your database if it's stolen. If someone steal your backup file, your data, your log files, and they are under the TD layer, so use TD, that person in attach process or restore process will get message security thumbprint, missing certificate, and similar, and it means sorry, but you can't access this data even if you have physical access to that files. Only solution to achieve that you have all layer of security keys, and I will show you later on presentation. You need to use also encryption outside of the DB world. So volume encryption, BitLocker if you use Windows, Veracrypt if you're using Windows, Linux, macOS, and so on. So why? Because if someone steals your disk, if someone get physical access to your server, to environment, then this all encryption will fall down, and this is part actually defending you in this black scenario. Also, if you use zip drive, zip files, 7-zip, WinRAR, WinZip, and so on, and you encrypt sensitive data, backup files, CSV Excel sheets with classified data, please use passwords. Please, because this, especially 7-zip is open source solution. It's free. It use AES-256 military grade encryption. So there is no stronger in this area. Also, try to limit number of admin staff. If you have, I don't know, 25, 50 administrators inside your organization, it's cool, it's nice, but do you need them? If you can handle a job with 5, please decrease that number. Maybe you have 50 of them and you don't know that. How? Because these 5 are giving permission outside of control, outside of strategy to other persons inside of the teams. Why? Because this person needs to do their jobs, and this is a way, and this is the only way to do it easy. Don't call me, don't ping me each time when you need access. Who will later, when you finish, deny that permission or revoke? Yes, it's a job, it's a task, but you need to pay attention also on that section. Also, in any scenario when something goes wrong, and it will go wrong in some situation, audit policy is a key part. if you don't have audit logs inside DB, inside tables, inside your system, inside your network, and you with cross redirection try to see what is happening, recreate the case, you will never find and you will never learn what is happening inside inside your security potential breach situation. Even if you have audit policy, you will need to have a backup audit policy for extra security. Why? Because a person with maximum access rights can actually falsify the logs, can delete the logs. So you need to watch the watcher and try to create. It's called bookkeeping. The primary log and two or three different logs on three different locations, and they are in sync. So when you check this log, they all four or three need to show you same state, same hashes, same checksum. If someone is actually tampering and try to tamper these official logs, then these two or three will show you that something is not right in that scenario. And also, please don't carry backups on your laptops, USB, SD cards, official backups or production backups. Okay, and SQL Server encryption. I told you before that there is no, in my perspective, maybe I'm wrong. So please correct me after the session if I'm wrong. If you know that there's a better solution, that SQL Server have and I hope will have best encryption capabilities now inside DB, because it's a hierarchy. What it means, you see on this scheme, there's a three layer of security: operating system, SQL Server, and DB level. So when SQL Server is installed on Azure as a service, or on-prem or hybrid solution, it will create a service master key. So data protection API inside Windows will create this SM key. That SM key will be used each time when you create database master key for each DB. And that database master key is actually encrypted with SM key. So you will need SM key from the service to open the DM key, and that DM key will give you access to DB. So it means if you pull out from this middle layer, if you detach DB, if you steal the backup and try to restore and attach on your home PC or on your whatsoever, without this SM key is simply useless. So each key above simply defend the key below. And story goes on. DB master key is used to create different way of keys and certificates inside the database to defend on the column level, on the DB level, on the always on level, TD level, name it. Certificate, asymmetric, symmetric key, so you can create different security scenarios depending on your concrete business needs. So again, if you just pull out this table as a copy paste from screen inside the Excel sheet without symmetric key, certificate, DB key, SM key, this data doesn't mean anything to you. Okay, and these are the encryption algorithms in symmetric key and asymmetric. Briefly, symmetrically, you use same key for encryption and decryption, and it's a more fastest way. So AES is advanced encryption standard. You have it in three lengths, and believe me, you will need to use always the best 256, and 256 is the strongest. Maybe in some cases, if you have really huge load, many transactions per second, you will have decreased performance, but with optimization and more CPU power, and even if you use cloud with some scaling up, you can simply forget that part. In asymmetric key encryption, you use two keys. One key is for encryption and a second key for decryption. So two key scenario. But in SQL Server, asymmetric key is generally used to defend symmetric key. So it will give you extra layer of security. So you will use RSA, I don't know, 2048 to encrypt IS-256, and that IS-256 will actually encrypt your data. So just an extra layer of security. And if I need to give an example, banking sector, if you're stolen credit card numbers, special authentication number from the users that needs to be used from credit cards, but I don't know if bank try to store the data. I believe it's illegal. But if they use it, please don't use anything less to protect those data without RSA and ISA in combination. And this is a very simple example, and we will see later in the demo that when you create symmetric key and you apply on the column level, and you see this is the column first name from AdventureWorks database 2014 or 17, doesn't matter, it's the same. You see that this data doesn't mean anything. Yes, you can use brute force attack to try to attack, but if your password is weak, and if you now I did not mention the really important part when you deal with encryption, and it's key management. You need to handle your keys. You need to pay attention who has the access to keys, where are the backup of the keys, and who can actually use that keys. Scenario one, if you have disaster recovery solution, you need to have the backup of your keys, because you will lose your own data without your keys. And also you need to log each access to those keys, because they are the last line of defense in this business scenario. Second example of encryption in SQL Server, I believe many of you know this feature, is always encrypted. Why is there a need for always encrypted when you have encryption inside the database? Simple, because DBA or DBAs, or the users with the huge access right, are the weakest point in security. So DBA can access all the key levels from the service level all the way down to the table level. So yes, they can do it because why? They have access. So simple, your security will now falls on the shoulders of the ethical principles of the person. So is he or she ethical or not? This variable in the equation that you simply don't need. So always encrypted is a life-saving feature. Why? Because encryption and decryption is pulled out from the server side and injected on the client side. So the data is stored in an encrypted form on DB server, and the keys for decryption and encryption are on the client side. So party scenario. So subject name for customer where SSN is equal to some parameter 1.1.2.2.3, and this parameter goes before left the trusty boundary of the client. Agent.net will find the key because this feature is turned on. Will get this at SSN, encrypt that part, and send to server. So you see, when this query comes out, when this query actually goes outside and it's executed on the server side, it will become select name from customer where SSN is equal some cipher text. And this cipher text is actually text inside your DB. So and SQL Server will find this cipher text, and it will bring back as the result set back to you, and all over the way is encrypted form. So when it came to your AD.NET library, it will use the key for decryption, and you will see that SSN 112333 is actually Wayne Jefferson. So in any case, DB or database does not know what is inside your DB if you use this feature. It's called end-to-end encryption. So it's actually there is not anything strongest in encryption as an implementation inside DB comparing to other security features. So, but this feature is not so ideal. Why? Because there's a two way to use always encrypted, randomized and deterministic. The first one will always encrypt on a different way, same string. You see, encrypt all the way from 1 to 9. One time is 0x17. Now, if you repeat, it will be 099. Next time 05, 06, 015, A, B, C, D, F, G, D. So each time you will get the different string, and that's cool, and that's secure. It will give you much bigger sense and real security, but you are really limited. How you can search the data of server name where last name is equal to what? Because my name Jasmin each time will be encrypted different way. On different way. So I will need to know all the combination to retrieve all Jasmins inside DB. So yes, this is the most secure way, but you are really limited with SQL operations. But second part, when you use deterministic encryption, each time same string will be encrypted the same. So encrypt all the way from 1 to 9 will be 0x85, 0x85, and so on. So now when I say give me where last name is equal to that, I can send as in this scenario. In this scenario here, you see that this SSN is encrypted, and I will get all Wayne Jeffersons if they exist inside DB. So in this case, I can use SQL Server statements and where clauses, join operation, distance group by, and so on. So I have more flexibility to operate my data, but is less secure because it will become the pattern. Because if attacker listening your communication, he or she will get the pattern on long term if you use same data in brute force attack scenarios. And almost on the end, before demo, I told you before, if you don't use SQL Server features, if you are too lazy, if you don't have the money, it's not your scenario, but you need to backup the files, please use only this. It's better than nothing. You see that this is 7-zip, and this is some Stack Overflow open source DB, and you see that encryption method is AS256. The strongest method that you actually pay in SQL Server, you pay in Oracle, DBU, in Azure, whatsoever, you will get it here for free. So you can always say right-click, encrypt this backup file AS256, and you will get the same level of encryption as you use in SQL Server. Yes, key management and so on is less secure, but on the first grabbing your data, it will be useless for the attackers. I will show you one demo how to encrypt column live, and if you need to access all other scripts, and there's I believe 6 or 7 of them on my GitHub repository, just enter my name Jasmin Azemovic, and you will see different libraries on GitHub, and one of them especially is important for this session is SQL Server Cryptography. So if you need to access all these demos and use them on their own, please adopt them, please share them. I'm here to share the know-how, to share the knowledge, to help people to be more secure. Okay, I will now jump in my management studio. Okay, this is a simple and quick demo. I will create a CryptoDB. I will create CryptoDB, and after this DB is created, now this DB is is guarded with service master key. Now I will create DB master key. So I'm inside, you see, CryptoDB, and I will create master key for this database. Okay, now I will try to see is this service key, is this key available to my database, and I see yes, DB master key. You see some metadata about the key, AS, date of creation, modified date, and so on. Now some simple scenario. I will create a simple table. Customer ID, first name, last name, credit card, expiration month, expiration year, and so on. And I will create a certificate, and this certificate will be guarded with this master key. See, now I will create encryption key. Buckle up to go. So you see, master key, service master key, DB master key, certificate, and AES for 256 to actually encrypt it. So four layers of security are here implemented now in this demo to guard my data. So attacker will need to have access to all four of them to try to do something. So I will now open the key, and I will use simple data from AdventureWorks with simple ETL procedure to get the data. And you see, I'm using function encrypt by key, key GUID, column name, and just using some cast function to actually adapt this data before storing inside new table. Okay, there you see almost 20,000. You see, it's fast. One second in simple ordinary laptop. Now imagine in some I know Xeon environment, cloud, and so on. It's fast. So I will now close the key. Always close the key. Always inside your code after the usage, close the key, because if the key stays in memory, in scenarios when system breaks down, blue screen of that, something goes wrong, memory dumps are stored on disks. In these memory dumps, you can find anything from BitLocker keys, symmetric keys, password key, Outlook key, G Drive key, Gmail key, and so on. So it's a gold mine for attackers. So if someone can get access to your memory dumps, believe me, you are wide exposed in this case. So always close your keys after usage. So if I try to see this table, you see now last name is simply, and other columns now down there below are encrypted, and from the attacker perspective, this scenario is simply doesn't have sense. So I will now open the key again, and I will now compare side by side these two columns. You see Sanchez, Encryption Sanchez, Duffy, Encryption, Tomborello, Walters, Ericsson, Miller, and so on and so on. Okay, and this is a quick demo. I believe each one of you is recognized this as a potential to actually defend your data. So I believe I'm close enough to conclude this session and to be available for Q&A. So this is small info about me. If you have any questions regarding security, cybersecurity, database, please contact me on LinkedIn. I'm SISO in my company. Also, I'm teaching students for 20 years and so on. And I'm Microsoft MVP 11 years in the role. And also, one good resource for you on same GitHub. I can show you before a couple of minutes. You can find my book, Securing SQL Server 2012, but this book I give for free as a PDF in open source. Please use it, share it. book is full of examples of authentication, authorization scenarios, encryptions, database forensics, and so on. Simply, you can use it in any case you want, and please share this resource as many people, because I am enjoying when someone use that knowledge, because it's some kind gives you a nice feeling that you're helping people in this part. Okay. Keep calm. Well, we steal your data. Little joke on the end. And please, after this pandemic madness is passed away, this is a picture of my Mostar and famous old bridge in Mostar. Please Google it, and you'll see that this attraction is attracting almost 1 million tourists each year in Bosnia. So please, if you have a time and options when this passed away, this passed away, please come here, and please contact me for the coffee or lunch in Mostar if you can here. And thank you for your attention. This slide, I will now go back here in Teams and to see is there any questions, comments, and so on.
That's an awesome picture, Jasmin.
Thank you.
There was a question earlier. When you showed the data breaches, the orange ones, is there a significance on the orange and blue color for the bubbles, or
no? It's I simply just mark that part. So. Okay, so it doesn't matter, because the only part is matter are the numbers, and there are millions. You see, numbers of millions of records.
Yeah, I was mostly quite taken aback by Microsoft has hacks and breaches, and also Indian citizens. So I was like totally. I was an Indian, so I could not why had this particular data is scored, either hacked or breached. So can you just give us some context at how the Microsoft and Indian citizens actually they are hacked, and what is the reason for these particular things?
Okay, thank you. Good question. Question is fabulous. To be honest with you, I'm not familiar with each of scenarios how data breach is occur, but I can bet on the money, even if I'm not betting in my life, but I can bet that this scenario is happening because something is failing inside the process. So maybe it's a human scenario. Maybe someone is opened the port. Data are not encrypted. But believe me, in most cases, maybe if you remember the Ashley Madison scenario before I don't know 4 or 5 years, Ashley Madison was a cheating site. So I'm not now speaking about ethical and morality of the story. Cheating site with 40 million of users actually cheat their partners, and they put the messages, pictures, and so on. And that site was hacked. And that site is it was past tense, says on one part of the picture, we are encrypting your data, SSL, AS256, and so on, big story, and they lied. Because when the data goes out, everything was in clear text. Epilogue of the story, suicide, divorces, millions of money in lawsuit, and so on. And I believe maybe this scenario in different angle is actually in India citizens and Microsoft always will someone will fail. But you and I will never achieve security 100%. So we need to try to be as close as possible to number and try to monitoring situation. If you monitor and you have the strategy, if you have the team, you can be proactive and try to avoid this situation. Okay.
Sure. Thanks. And so I will say that it's an eye-opener kind of session. Like people have not talked about this particular security in this particular way. Like you shows the different tips and tricks, and you also give a start with the bad thing, like how hacking is done.
Yes,
and now you give some kind of a comfort to the audience that how they can safeguard their data and also personal data as well.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you for the tip. And maybe on next opportunity, I'll try to prepare something more concrete to show you how to do that.
Sure. Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you guys. Wish you all the best. Thank you for calling me, and I hope we will see you soon.
Sure. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.